And the reason why social advertising doesn't work for a lot of churches is because, number one, they didn't get their messaging right. So if you have not already watched the messaging video, up above here is going to be a link to go and watch that. Go and watch that, because this is useless without that information. And number two, they don't have their website up to date, because if someone sees a social ad, I might check it out, but I might also just swipe up. If I'm on a iPhone, swipe up. Let me go to Safari. What was that church's name? Okay. We don't want that. Okay. So you got to have your messaging right. You got to have your website right. Then you can run your advertising, your promotions for church. Now, the misconception a lot of pastors still make is traditional advertising works best. Let me translate that for you. When I hear traditional ad, we still do traditional advertising because we think it works. What I hear is we still do traditional advertising because that's all we know how to do. All right. And we talk about social advertising, mostly, wild guess, 90% of the audience here, when I talk about social advertising, it's Meta, Facebook or Instagram. Very few churches are going to be equipped and ready and well enough to do okay on TikTok or Twitter. So when I say social advertising, it's Facebook, Meta ads, okay? A lot of churches make the mistake of thinking, well, it's just paying money. Paying money is not advertising. When you click boost, or when Facebook says, hey, this could reach 157 more people for $2, and you're like, yeah, sure, let's do that. That's not advertising. That's just paying Facebook to show more of your content to people that might be interested in you. All right, there's a difference. And another mistake I see churches make is just, again, advertising information. They're not advertising inspiration. They're not advertising benefits. They're not advertising results. They're not advertising outcome. They're not advertising experiences and stories and life change. They're just advertising time and location. All right. So your advertisements should be so inspiring, by the way, so encouraging that it doesn't even need the time and location. I'm not saying don't have that. I'm saying it doesn't even need it, because people are going to be like, I want to go to that. Tell me where to go. And they click through and find out where to go. All right. And again, a PowerPoint slide is not an advertisement, and it never should be. Another mistake I see churches making, and this is a little bit more advanced, this is something that we do for our clients, is not being creative with the targeting. Targeting meaning, like, you tell Meta, Facebook, hey, show this ad to people in this area. But what if you said, show this ad only to parents? Then you're only spending money to show your Easter hunt to parents who have kids who would want to go to Easter hunt. Okay, so you can get more creative. Okay, you maybe I don't even know if there's a targeting option, but I would like to try people with mothers who are still living. Hey, take your mom to Easter. Come with us. We're gonna have a special gift for moms and grandmas. It's more of a Mother's Day thing, but I mean, still work for Easter, right? And that again feels targeted to me. It feels relatable to me. And a lot of pastors will tell me, oh, that's gross, that's icky, I hate when stuff does that. Okay, great. You hate it. Everyone else loves it. Okay? There's a lot of TikToks I've been seeing recently that people don't, there's the phrase, people love to buy but hate to be sold to. Wrong. People love to be sold to. You ever sit down and watch an infomercial and you're like, wow, that was pretty cool. I didn't know it could do that. I didn't know the air fryer could do that. I didn't know a knife could do that. Man, I wish I could cut. That's entertaining. You're being sold to. What people hate is being convinced. All right. And I'm like going through right now. I'm like, let's make sure, guys, we're not trying to convince people our church is better. We're just telling them about our church and being inspirational. And it's up to them whether or not they want to be sold that our church is the one to go to for eternal life change. All right. I'm not saying your church is the only church for someone, but it could be the best church for them. All right. So if you can do the ads the way I'm going to show you today, or share with you today, it's an audio podcast. We do YouTube, but I mean, I'm not going to sit here and screen share. I am planning a screen share series. If you want to see that, comment down below. Do you want to see me share tips, tools, tactics, software, resources? I'd be interested to know. It'll just be me screen sharing. So when you do social advertising like I'm about to show you, you're going to save money because you're not showing Easter egg hunt advertisements to college kids. You're especially not showing ads to people that are in a different state. I can't tell you how many times I see that. But you can actually create connection ahead of time. Because the way I'm going to show you how to do advertisements is like an online connect card, but one that people will actually fill out. And you can use that information ahead of time to nurture them into seeing more inspiration about your church, more inspirational stories, more people like them, more of what you've done in the community. I wouldn't go into your history, but more into like things you do throughout the year. And build up some excitement, not just for Easter, but for your church and what your church could do in someone's life. So here's the breakdown of what you need to do for your Easter social ad. And by the way, when I share this, people are like, that's too easy. Which is like, it reminds me of sharing like the gospel story. And they're like, well, what do I do? All you have to do is repent, turn your life around, commit it to Christ, follow Christ, and that's it. But I'm sure some pastors left. That's not all you do. And subscribe. But they're like, there has to be rules, there has to be regulations, there has to be something I have to sign, there has to be a covenant, right? I got to slice my hand open. No. Christ did all the hard stuff. All right? And it's a free gift. And so when I share my social media ad strategy for Easter, churches are like, this is way too simple. Yeah. Because the reason why advertising often doesn't work for churches is because you think it's supposed to be some complicated thing. It's actually pretty simple. Number one, and this is more of a best practice thing, it's not a requirement, because Facebook has allowed this, if you just have a page, they've allowed you now to run ads with just the page, a proper ad. But number one thing I would do is make sure you open up a business manager Facebook account. It's free. It's not like opening up a bank account. You literally log in with your Facebook profile and you say, all right, this is our business. You can add other people to it to moderate and administrate it and monitor it. So if you ever leave, they're not calling you 2 years later, oh, we need access to the Facebook page. And you're not having to track down other people. Hey, I don't know who has access to this. It's all, multiple people have access, multiple people have permissions, and you can track what everyone's doing on anything, okay? So number one, get the Facebook Business Manager. Sign up for that, get it set up for your church. Just follow the prompts. All right, number two, look at the triangle. Again, if you didn't watch the video on messaging before this, go watch it because you don't know what this is. Are you going to be targeting the 3%? Meaning, do you want just people that are aware that they should go to church on Easter to go to your church on Easter? I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's not what I would do, but if that's you, that's going to influence what you write for your ad. You're not going to talk about all the life change and things that Christ can do in them. You're just going to say, hey, we got a later service time. We've got more stuff for the kids, more eggs for the kids, and we've got better sermons. All right? I'm not saying that's good or bad or not. It's just what it is. Okay? Do you want to reach more of the spiritual people, the people that may be considering Easter service? Well, your messaging is going to be unique to them. Are you going to reach people that have felt needs, who are lonely, isolated, confused, frustrated? Well, your messaging is going to be a little bit different. You're going to be focused more on the problem. And then number three, this is where a lot of people get it backwards, right? Some people are like, what image do we use? What copy do we use? None of that matters until you know who your ad is for, okay? So then, after you create your Facebook campaign, it asks you to create the ad set. That's basically the stuff about your ad. So choose your location, choose your demographic you want to show the ad to. All right, if you're having an Easter egg hunt, go to families. If you're not, go to kids, grandparents. I mean, you could do general location stuff. All right. And then when you get to the ad, I want you to be as specific as possible. List your city. Okay. Everyone's saying, come to our church. But if you say, hey, Temple, Texas, right? Automatically, I feel like that ad's written for me. Okay. As far as a video, as far as the creative, don't do a PowerPoint slide. Don't do a random picture of your church. I suggest, number one, doing a selfie video with the pastor or church leader. Hey, this is Pastor so-and-so, and I know that the world's kind of crazy and confused right now, but this Easter, we're going to have a place to take a breath. We're going to see what God has done for us and what he might have done for you. And if you feel like something's missing in your life, hello, spiritual awareness, they know something's missing. Or if you want to go problem. Hey, and if you feel like you don't have any real friends, if you feel like there's no one you can rely on, if you're missing a support network, it's right here. We'd love to see you at Easter. Click down below, and RSVP will have a special gift basket for you and your family. Right? And then you're going to do what's called a lead ad, where you collect their information ahead of time. It's called a lead ad because in business we call them leads. You're just going to ask their name, email, number attending. And then with that information, now you can follow up with them. Not in a, hey, so you signed up for a thing on Facebook. I can't wait to see you. What's your shirt size? No, but it's just, hey, we saw your RSVP. We're glad to have you. We'll have an Easter basket ready. We'll make sure we have enough eggs for your kids. And if you need any special accommodations, let us know. That's such a secret phrase, by the way. I should charge for that question. Okay, you want to get people responding to your event RSVPs after you tell them thanks for registering. Say, hey, if you have any special accommodations, let us know. It means so much just being asked that. Knowing my kids, not my kids, but some parents would be like, well, my kids can't be around peanut butter. Are you going to have peanut butter in your chocolate candies? That's a problem. All right, my kid's special needs. Can you handle that? So you're going to do a lead ad. You're going to focus on the targeting. You're going to do a video of the pastor. If not, do a picture of your congregation. That's fine. Not from the back. Just do like candid, happy people. All right. And the wording is going to be very simple. You're going to start with that problem statement. You're going to invite them to Easter, and you're going to share what they can expect as a result. So you can have a sigh of relief and take a break from the craziness of the world. That sounds nice, man. Maybe not. Maybe that doesn't sound nice to you and you've got a different benefit. So you can have memories to last of this Easter, right? That would mean a lot to us because we got a 2-year-old. He only has his second Easter once. He's still a baby, so it's kind of funny to watch that. So if a church is like specifically, that's why Easter photo booths do really well. That's why Easter egg hunts do really well. It's because parents want to make those memories. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's capitalize on it and use it as a way to get their attention to share the gospel with them. We can make an impact for them and their kids.